James Earl Jones. We all know the name, especially as Star Wars fans, but even a lot of us that are not Star Wars fans. Now, growing up, seeing Star Wars in 77, and of course, and every time they re-released it in video, my voice actually, when I first think of hearing the voice, although I saw the movie in 77, was the Star Wars Story album. It's where I really got to hear Darth Vader's voice over and over again and learn those lines over and over again, where I could recite. Watching the movie, I knew every line that was coming thanks to that Star Wars record, the Story of Star Wars record. But that's when I really got to know the voice of James Earl Jones. And, there was no credits. I said his name wasn't in the credits, but in a way, it kind of made him more well-known. Because I think everybody, every little trivia thing you picked up was, who did the voice of Darth Vader? And they'll tell you, it's James Earl Jones. But, I didn't know who James Earl Jones was when I read all these. I didn't know till years later that, he was an actor, did a lot of other things. I figured he just did the voice or started with Star Wars. But no, he had a history before that. But he has become the iconic sound of Star Wars, at least not just for Darth Vader, but when you just hear that voice, you think Star Wars. And of course, he did the voice of CNN, and he was in other things like the Soul Man. I think it was the Soul Man. Wasn't he in Soul Man? Remember that movie with C. Thomas Howell put on blackface and went to college? No, let's not talk about that. But he was also, he was Sandlot. Was it Sandlot he was in? He was in a lot of stuff. And then going back and did some stage performance stuff. He used to come up on Letterman all the time and help him with his top 10. He would do quotes that sound cool as James Earl Jones's voice or something. And of course, he did the voice of the Daddy Lion and Lion King. So he's done a lot of stuff. But sadly, he did pass away. As many of you know now, it's old news, I guess. It broke yesterday, and most of us already know about it. If you didn't, you're finding out now. But that's sad. There's a line in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, which I know a lot of you guys don't like. I find it okay. It's a line that, the Indy's professor friend tells him that he's reached the age where life stops giving you stuff, starts taking stuff away. And, that's a really good quote because it's really true. And as the older I get, these not just, friends and family pass on, but people I grew up with. People I looked up to, actors, singers, playwrights, whatever that means. But, get older, they start passing away. From Star Wars, we've lost Kenny Baker. We've lost, of course, Carrie Fisher and David Prowse. And luckily, we still have some of the cast. Ford, Hamill, Anthony Daniels, and a lot more. But we have lost some of those. And as a Star Trek fan, we've lost a lot of the original Star Trek cast members, and then just other people I grew up with, music people I've listened to, actors I listened to. So it always kind of hits you because he seemed like you kind of, you lose a part of yourself. You lose something that grew up, especially somebody like James Earl Jones. We've heard that voice over and over and over again where you just assume it's always going to be a part of you. Now, I remember hearing a story about a year ago that he, recorded some stuff, less and stuff, so AI could use his voice or something after he passed. I don't know if that's true. So I guess in a way we'll technically hear his voice throughout the years, or whenever they need Darth Vader's voice again, they can pull it up on a computer, which I don't know, somebody's going to say that's right, that's wrong. I'm not going to debate that right now. But what a voice. What an iconic voice. And a good actor. A lot of people don't know. People don't think of him as an actor, just a voice guy. But go back, watch some of his stuff. I remember he played a blind guy. What was that on? It was on a TV show, I think. Frasier? Is that what it was? He played a blind guy. Did a really good job there. I know he was on Big Bang Theory. Never saw it. Not a fan of that show, but I know he did that. He's done some other shows. And I don't know. His voice is everywhere. His voice and his face is everywhere. And when it comes to Darth Vader, I don't care who they get. If they do get someone to replace his voice, it's just never going to seem right if they do bring back Darth Vader and they need a new voice. Even Rogue One, where they did use James Earl Jones' voice, he was an older voice, so it didn't really sound right. Just kind of took me out of it for a second, but it was still nice to hear James Earl Jones. He was always willing, I guess, to come in and do a voice of Darth Vader, so that's good. But then again, paid him a lot of money, so why wouldn't you want to come in and do it? But I don't really have much to say. I'm not going to sit here and do a video of the life and times of James Earl Jones. You all know that. Just kind of want to talk my side of things and how I discovered who he was. Again, just reading trivia about Star Wars. And back then, I didn't have anything to look him up. I just knew James Earl Jones. You know what he looked like. So it wasn't until later, I started seeing him on TV. But hey, that's the guy that's Darth Vader's voice right there on TV. And it was always funny as a kid. I can remember hearing his voice as a kid, him talking in interviews and stuff. And it was just Darth Vader. I was like, Darth Vader's talking. Now, sadly, in Return of the Jedi, they should have took his helmet off and he should have been James Earl Jones. You might say, well, man, why is Luke Skywalker so pale skinned? But, I don't know, James Earl Jones. It could have been David Prowse in the suit, but, I know David Prowse was like, he wanted to do the voice, but come on, you got to have James. I've heard that Orson Welles was who Lucas wanted to start with, but then he figured it was too well known and people would distract people. People would say, that's not Vader. That's I don't forget who I said now. Who? Anyway, mine's getting old, guy. Orson Welles. Thank you. But that would have been kind of odd. Orson Welles was the voice of Master Robert Masters in Magnum P.I. Never showed his face there, so he was just a voice over there also, so a little tie-in. But again, rest in peace, James Earl Jones. He was 93. I'm not saying it's good he passed away, but at least he did have a full life. We're not talking about a guy that, at 25, 30, something tragic happens. He lived out his life. If you can get to 93, you've done pretty good for yourself. And honestly, me, I don't know if I want to go to 93. It depends if I'm shitting myself or I'm out of my mind. I don't think he was, but I'm just saying, let me have a heart attack at 80. I don't really want to be sitting in a nursing home. You know what I'm saying? Trying to make videos. I don't have a camera or a computer. I'm just out of my mind thinking I'm making videos. But anyway, James Earl Jones, man, what a guy. What a character. What a voice. You can't talk about James Earl Jones without mentioning the voice. That's for sure. But, he will be missed from all us Star Wars fans and movie TV lovers also. Well, thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts on James Earl Jones.
The number 2 cool thing when spoken by James Earl Jones.
Meow, 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 meow.
And the number 1 thing that sounds cool when spoken by James Earl Jones.
What's up?
Hey, Jumpman channel popping though.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.